I have my IT consulting website and my website that mentions all of my content, my book, my Christmas album, all that hosted through Wix. And I've enjoyed using Wix as my web hosting provider. My website is fast, the performance is great, the reliability has been great. The web editor with Wix is super easy to use, and as you can see, it's done a fine job developing a very professional and clean looking website very easily. And I would highly recommend Wix to any of my clients and anyone who is looking for a great web hosting provider. Right now, I'm on Wix's core plan because I got my first year at 50% off. I'm going to be moving to the light plan, though, later this year, so that runs me about $17 a month once I change plans. And under Wix's light plan, it's only about slightly more than I would pay for traditional web hosting from a pretty good shared web hosting place that just wouldn't be a super budget, super junky web hosting provider. And with the integration with Wix's web editor and the performance and the ease of use, I have found that Wix has been great for my web host. With that said, there are a few things that I've noticed about Wix during my time with them where you can still save some money elsewhere if you know what to do. So first of all, with Wix, they do love to upsell you on certain features on your website. So they want to upsell you on getting email from them, which is really just Google Workspace. They want to sell you a Google Voice number. They'll want to sell you accounting for your business and all of that. And so what I've done is I'm coming to Wix for the web hosting, but I'm leaving the upsells alone. For my business accounting, I'm just using the free plan with Wave Accounting. It works just excellent. In fact, if I click here and bring it up, this is what I'm using for my accounting, and it's free. For my business line, I'm using US Mobile's $10 a month plan, and I'll just show you what I'm on here. I did their by the gig $10 taxes and fee included plan on my cell phone. So this gives me a real line, not just some VoIP line. Plus, because my primary line is with Visible by Verizon, I put this one on AT&T towers. So if I travel out of an area with Verizon, then I can fall back with AT&T. And I even get international calling and texting included in this plan. So that's what I'm doing there. And I didn't use Wix to file my LLC. I did that all myself through my state's Secretary of State and saved myself some big money there. The other thing to keep in mind about Wix is that because their platform is proprietary, when you build a website with them, it is locked to their web editor. Now, there are some places like WordPress.com where you can import at least the content, some of the text content and stuff into WordPress.com from Wix, and then you still have to choose a theme and make some major adjustments to the site if you didn't need to move it elsewhere. But in my case, I'm just going to be staying put as of now on Wix because I have enjoyed the ease of use on the editor. The performance has been great, and I've been happy with them. My previous web hosting provider, I was happy with the tech support with them. I knew all the people personally, and the fee was about a third of what I'm paying to Wix, but I had some other issues. The server was pretty far away from me, so my performance and reliability wasn't quite matching what I'm getting at Wix. Plus, they didn't even have an SSL certificate included in the plan that I was on. There wasn't any way to even link an SSL certificate there, so that was hurting my SEO. And the web editor was also not near as robust as what I'm dealing with on Wix. And so I'm glad to have made the move there. But I do want to show you in this video a couple of ways in which you can save money on your web hosting, specifically on domains and email hosting. These are the two things that I've not kept at Wix because these were areas where I was dramatically overpaying, and I've been able to now save at least probably 130 to 150 a year by breaking things up. Now, the difference is that I now have 3 places where I'm having to handle billing, but with automatic billing, that's still not a major inconvenience to me. Plus, I had to be a little DNS savvy in order to make these changes, but it's very easy to learn how to become DNS savvy. If you're not, you can learn it in an afternoon, and the learning can save you a good ton of money later on. So I highly recommend taking that time and making that small time commitment in learning, because it's really going to pay off. So the first thing that I did was I chose a more affordable domain provider. And for me, I moved my domains over to Porkbun. And the reason why I chose them, I looked at multiple domain providers out there, and with Porkbun, you're getting much more affordable domains. So I've got 2 domains. I've got my ithappens.co, and then I've got my parkernathan.com. And with them, to renew the CO domain right now is running about $27 a year, and the .com domains run about a little over $11 a year. Well, with Wix, when you threw in domain privacy, I was paying about $40 a year just for the .co domain, and then I was also paying another about $35 a year for the .com domain. And so I'm saving some pretty good money here with my domains here instead. And they throw in the free Whois privacy as well. So that is included in your domain. You don't have to pay for it separately, whereas I was paying for it separately over at Wix, and with my previous web hosting provider before I went to Wix as well. And so I love the fact that this is included for free. Another reason why I chose Porkbun is because they're using Cloudflare for the DNS, and Cloudflare is known for its wide range of servers across the world, and it's super fast and generally super reliable. When I made the Cloudflare changes over at Porkbun, everything propagated super fast and refreshed itself super fast, and so I'm very happy with them for DNS. You may be asking me, well, since they use Cloudflare for DNS, why didn't I just register my domains with Cloudflare? The reason why I didn't is because Cloudflare requires you to use their DNS if you move your domains over to them. While I enjoy using Cloudflare DNS at Porkbun, I do like the fact that I have the freedom to use another DNS server or DNS provider in the event I needed to in an emergency, and I wouldn't have to go through the process of migrating my domain somewhere else if I needed to use another DNS provider and do it quickly. So that's why I chose them over going directly to Cloudflare. The other feature on Porkbun that has been super helpful is their free URL forwarding that's included. And this was a limitation that I had run into with Wix. With Wix, there was no way for me to forward my ithappens.co domain to the page that has all of my consulting services. So if I go to ithappens.co, you'll now notice that it's taken me right here to my page that lists all of my consulting services. Now, when the domain was registered with Wix and linked to my Wix site directly, the only place it would go is right here to my home page, and it had to go directly to my home page. I didn't want that. I just didn't like the way that was functioning. But with the free URL forwarding on Porkbun, I was able to tell them to send the ithappens.co page directly to my consulting page on my Wix website, and I've been super happy with the way that works. Their free email forwarding also works very well. In addition to the URL forwarding, I had used it while I was in the transitional period between email providers, and I can tell you that it works very well as well. So I highly recommend checking out porkbun.com if you want cheaper domains, free domain privacy, if you want Cloudflare DNS, but the option to use another DNS provider, and Their URL and email forwarding is great, and it's saving me about $40 a year in domain fees. Now, the second major change that I made was I moved my email hosting off of Google Workspace onto Fastmail. I originally signed up for Google Workspace and had it billed through Wix because, again, I had a 50% off the first year promo with them. And so I wanted to give Google Workspace a try. The problem with Google Workspace is that, one, I have 2 email boxes, so that was running me, once the promo pricing was over, would run me about almost $180 a year for 2 email boxes. I wasn't finding their spam filter that superior to any other email host that I'd used. I still had enough junk mail come through. Even email reliability, even after setting up DKIM and DMARC and SPF, still wasn't 100% reliable as well. Some people still had issues receiving my emails, to the point where I didn't feel like paying the premium for Gmail was worth it, and Google Workspace was worth it. Plus, in addition to that, I just didn't need most of the functionality of Google Workspace. I don't need to use Gemini's AI feature on a day-to-day basis, and if I need it, I can always fall back on a free Gmail plan. I did not need all of the Google Drive space there. A free Gmail plan would work there. Any of Google's other apps like Google Maps and stuff like that, if I need to interface it, again, I can use it on a free plan. I can even use a free Gmail plan for stuff like Google Analytics and Google Search Site Console and all of that linked to my Wix site for performing analytics. I'm not a big Google Docs user myself. I have a perpetual license to Microsoft Office if I need it. Plus, I have iWork for free on my Mac. Again, if I need Google Docs, I can fall back to a free Gmail account because I'm just a solo entrepreneur that needs 2 email boxes. I really wasn't using all of the functionality in Google Workspace. I don't really need Google Chat. I wasn't using Google Meet enough. It was just, I was overpaying for stuff I just flat wasn't using. When it boiled down to it, the main thing I needed was just reliable, rock-solid email hosting that I could use with my domain. I had originally considered the Microsoft 365 Exchange Online Plan 1 plan, because that still would have cut my email hosting bill in about half. But I was trying to speak with Microsoft and trying to get it set up, and Microsoft had issues provisioning my account. And went through that song and dance for a little over a week trying to get it done. It didn't happen. So I went back to the drawing board and looked at other options. And I finally decided to try Fastmail. And I had tried their 30-day trial, and that day I actually ended up signing up for a paid subscription. There will be a affiliate link to Fastmail in the description for this video for those of you who are interested in signing up. And I am thrilled that I gave Fastmail a try. They're the best email hosting provider that I have found yet, and I am likely going to be staying put for a long time with them. So here's the things that I love about Fastmail. First of all, it also cut my bill nearly in half. I was able to get their Duo plan, which, as you can see, will run about $96 for 12 months instead of almost $180. Plus, they also gave me another first-year discount as well, so slightly off the pricing on that. Additionally, all my domains were able to link up very easily. I was able to bring over my inboxes and link up my multiple email aliases super easily as well. I was able to migrate my email hosting from Google Workspace over to Fastmail, and no pun intended, this was the fastest email migration I've ever done. And I get a ton more storage space as well. I'm getting 50 gigs of storage space per inbox, plus another 10 gigs that's used for files. And I've just been super thrilled and happy with the way Fastmail works. Fastmail is based on open source and just standards-based email, so it works with any client over IMAP. They also pioneered the JMAP standard, which makes everything a little bit faster. You have contacts that can work over CardDAV and calendars that can work over CalDAV, so a lot of the functionality that I would have had in Exchange Online. But here on Fastmail, their interface works with pretty much any client's working great with mail, contacts, and calendars on my Mac and my iPhone and my iPad. It also works with Outlook. It'll work great with a Windows machine as well. But they really have some excellent desktop and mobile apps as well that are based on their web app that just have really good, clean functionality as well. I can be signed into both of my inboxes on the app. The overall interface is just clean and easy to use, and my contacts and my calendar are right here at my fingertips. Plus, I can share files with people. You get 10 gigs of file sharing as well. If I need to share a large file with someone, I don't have to go out to the Dropbox or Google Calendar or somewhere like that. You get notes as well. And I've actually switched the bulk of my emailing to their apps directly because I found their apps to be so good and so easy to use and just so less quirky than Apple Mail and Outlook and the email clients I were using, that I've just been using their apps and they run so well that I can get the bulk of my email work done so much faster in their apps than I could even using my traditional mail client. And all the functionalities here, you can pin messages, there's search functionality, it's great. You have offline access when you need it. And the other thing is that Fastmail, because they're not a company that's providing free email, they're not scanning your emails for ads and selling your data to advertisers. They do care about your privacy as well. They have great support for aliases, and they also have a masked email as well, which is similar to Hide My Email feature in iCloud. Now, some people out there on the web has kind of dinged Fastmail's approach to privacy because it's not end-to-end encrypted email like you would see with something like Proton Mail or something like that. Well, I have Proton Mail, and I use that when I need the ultra-sensitive end-to-end encryption for banking, financial, stuff like that. But with Fastmail, it's not end-to-end encrypted like Proton, but they still care about your privacy, and it still works great over traditional IMAP. And none of my other providers were end-to-end encrypted. Google Workspace certainly isn't. My previous provider before that wasn't. And so but Fastmail still gives you great privacy with your email, but still an email that works over traditional IMAP and just works with any client without having to jump through hoops like Proton Bridge and all that. So if you need end-to-end encrypted email, I still recommend Proton, but if you just need traditional IMAP email that just works, but still cares about your privacy, Fastmail is great for that. Their calendars and contacts work absolutely well. I've been working with them. They have things such as schedule send, even the ability to add private memos as well. Plus, their support has been great. Haven't had to deal with AI support. This is even one little gripe I have with Wix is that you first have to go through the AI chatbot, and then you have to go with the person with Wix, and hopefully that they'll kind of scale back some of that as well. With Google Workspace, it was most of the time I had to deal with AI. I didn't like it. Even when I dealt with a human, they didn't seem to know what they were doing, and it looked like that I would have had that same problem with Microsoft if I had gone with them. With Fastmail, I had some pre-sales questions. I got a real human being right up front who answered them and got me going in no time. And even though I haven't needed support much since switching to Fastmail, at least I know that a real human being is going to be there when I need it. Plus, I like the fact there's no vendor lock-in, even though I'm probably not going to need that functionality because I've been super happy with Fastmail. And when they say it's the fastest email service money can buy, I can vouch for that. The email performance and reliability has been excellent. My emails have been super fast. My migration's been well. My domains have worked very well. And you can just see the list of features here that you get with Fastmail. And I've been using these now for a little bit to power my inbox, and everything has been excellent. So these are just a couple of ways that you can save money with your web hosting. I still love Wix for my web hosting, even though it is a little bit on the premium side. The ease of use and the performance and reliability that I'm getting is great, but I recommend going elsewhere for your domains with a place such as Porkbun, because you're going to definitely save money each year on your domains, and you're going to be in better control over your DNS. And then I would recommend a company like Fastmail for your email hosting, because you're going to save money and you're going to have super reliable email hosting. Now, if you need all the functionality of something like Google Workspace or Microsoft 365, those are still, I'm not knocking them as that for businesses that flat need all that functionality. That's one thing, but when you're a sole entrepreneur like me, where saving money is the key importance and I just need to focus on the essentials, then I don't need all of that. And so Fastmail has been able to deliver what I need without the fluff. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in a future video.